Hola, mi gente. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I am YouTube and your favorite devil's advocate, On the Block with Jen on all social media platforms. Okay, if you're here for the first time, welcome, new subby. I got so many subbies overnight and I appreciate you. And I'm glad that you clicked subscribe, but I hope you also clicked notifications or you'll miss me live. And I'm great on the replay, but oh, I'm so good live. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're here for the first time, are you not entertained? That is why you hit subscribe. I appreciate you. On the Block with Jen on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. On the Block with Jen at Gmail. Throw your topics in there, your suggestions. I don't need your marriage proposals, just your topics and your suggestions. Or if you want to contact me or any of my panelists for business, On the Block with Jen at Gmail. Thank you so much to all the people that have submitted their information for our April 15th Block Talent Battle. Okay. I got more people emailing me than I thought. It's a beautiful thing. That means that we're doing a good thing. Block Talent Battle, April 15th, 8 p.m. sharp, right here on the Block with Jen. I got people who are going to come lap dance as their talent. I got people who are coming to rap. I got people who are coming to sing. I got comics that are going to give us 3 minutes of their best stand-up. So you don't want to miss it. April 15th, 8 p.m. sharp, right here. And it's not too late. Okay, we are seeing 10 people and 10 people only. Lily and I will judge and judge harshly, but we don't have the final say. Okay, it is up to the voters. So it is in your best interest to get your family and friends to come watch you. Throw your name in the comments section, and the most votes wins the cash prize, $100. I don't know about you, but coming up to share your talent for $100 is a good damn gig, okay? And it's going to be first come, first serve. You will wait in the queue. We will pull you up. You will show us your talent. People will vote and you'll get the money. Easy peasy if you ask me. All right. All right. So thank you so much. It's not too late to submit. It is not too late to be here. April 15th, we're taking the first 10 that show up. Okay. You know, a lot of people talk a good one, but are they going to show up? Okay. And untuck their nuts and give us that talent? We shall see. Because a lot of people talking in my email right now. A lot of people talking in my email. I'm going to be there. I'm going to win the money. We'll see April 15th. Okay. Who has the cojones to come up here and face Lily and I. And if you think I mean, ooh, wait till I dissect your talents. All right, guys, without another further, let me get my people up here. Don't forget to support the show. Cash App on the Block with Jen. Ain't that sexy? Don't that sound like Cash App? Cash App on the Block with Jen, okay? You can be discreet with your money there. Unless you want me to shout you out, by all means, send a note with your Cash App and say, Jen, shout me out. I want people to know I am sponsoring your show and supporting your show. A lot of people are like, I don't want people to know that I'm simping. I don't want people to know that I'm supporting your show. You know how it is. Sometimes people like, throwing money under the table, and that's okay. I don't discriminate, okay? On the Block with Jen Cash App if you want to do that. If you don't give a good goddamn who sees where you throw your money at. Super chat, bottom right. A lot of people still don't know, believe it or not, where the super chat is. It is the $ bottom right of the chat. Okay? Throw your comment in there. I see it better when it's attached to a super chat. Weird, I know, but something magical happens and my vision clears up and I'm like, oh shit, a comment. Pull it up here and we'll dissect it. Also, everyone is welcome to my panel. We don't argue with avatars though. So you got to show your face. You don't have to stay in the chat popping your shit. You could come up on the panel and challenge any of us, okay? But you got to do it with your face. We don't argue with avatars. We left that back in 2022. It's not going to fly in 2023. I'm happy to see you. Let me bring my people up here. Always and talented, lovely Lily from YB Limited. And you better be following her, okay? This is my co-host specifically for the Block Talent Battle. So I don't know, go to her page, be nice to her. She may be nice during the judging. I can't promise anything though. Lily.
Yeah, don't make that promise.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help.
Yeah, no. And some of them did migrate over to my page from yesterday's show. So I had a few Make America Great Again.
You did not.
I did, yes. So that was awesome to have all like the hillbilly crew and the Magna crew. It was really nice. Well, they weren't nice, but it was nice.
So the backwoods Billy Bobs, they really went on over to your page to hate.
They rolled on over there, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's good to have you stay for a while.
Right? Are you not entertained, bitch?
Right.
Yeah, so we get the people up to speed. Last night we had an amazing show per usual, and the topic was Bud Light versus the LGBTQ versus Bud Light drinkers or ex-drinkers. And all hell broke loose overnight in my comment section. Apparently people didn't like what we had to say regarding Bud Light, okay, and the LGBTQ. And all hell broke loose in my comments. And it's okay. It's all love. They help the algorithm. That's why I didn't block anybody. I told you guys, I appreciate you. I do not block long as you don't make yourself a nuisance. We welcome everybody. But if you're gonna park in my comment section and be a nuisance, then I have an issue with you. But I invite the rebuts, the retorts, the contradictions, the bullshit. Throw it all in my comment section. It's all good. Just don't make yourself a nuisance, all right? Nobody ever likes a nuisance. Right. Let's bring up Nosen because I hear him knocking on the door. I'm here. Hello, Nosen.
Hello.
What's up, Nosen?
How are you, sir?
All right. Looks like we got dueling door knockers, maybe.
Do we have no? These aren't door knockers.
Oh, no.
I got my. Well, Don Lemon would probably call these. Is it ball bearings? What do you call them? Little. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is it ball?
Like steel ball bearings or like
Exactly right. Because he makes fun of the jewelry I like. He's like, I was showing him some jewelry that I like, and he was saying that most of that shit's in his garage. Like
the reeds are legendary.
He has a good read, right? Yes. But listen, you know why I wasn't insulted? Because my uncle, okay, he used to work in a factory and he used to bring these big black rubber things. I forgot what Don Levant said they were, but he worked in a factory and he used to bring back these, what is it? I don't know, is a gasket rubber.
O-rings and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I used to wear them as bracelets.
Yeah.
So when he said the jewelry I like is probably in his garage, it was funny because my uncle used to bring me those bracelets. They were the big black rubber bracelets, and I freaking loved them. So I'm not a diamond girl. Doesn't mean I wouldn't mind getting a diamond. I'm just saying I'm not a diamond girl. I prefer things that are earthy. I like turquoise. I like silver. I like shit like that. Right? Yeah. But I ain't gonna say no to a diamond, honey.
No.
I like sparkly things. But you could get me a Swarovski. Those are sparkly too.
Right.
All right. So they went a little ham yesterday in the comments. They went a little ham, but that's a good thing. That means that, we are provoking thought and we're also provoking vitriol. And that's okay. I see No Say clap it back in that comment section. Like,
oh, you was going,
No Say was clapping back, honey. I was like, okay. All right.
Little cute light, like, thanks for coming. We see you. Yeah. I'm glad you got it off your chest.
Yeah. So, you know what? Better. Great point, Lily. Some people just want to get shit off their chest, man. But, I'm so excited for this Block Talent battle. The response has been overwhelming, no cap. Like, you put something out there and you hope that it takes. And you're kind of like, listen, if one person, bites, yay. But the response has been overwhelming. These people are really interested in performing. I'm really interested in seeing their talent. So it's going to be exciting. April 15th. I cannot stress. Please save the date. We got a lot of things going on, so you'll forget. Okay. So April 15th. Hi, honey. April 15th, 8 p.m. Shop. Okay. Shop it in a Puerto Rican blade, honey. 8 p.m. Shop. Hold me down, chat. Let's get into this. Before we get into the topic, because we don't have a lot of time tonight. Before we get into the topic, I did want to rewind a little bit on the Budweiser thing. And here's why, something that was interesting. If you're not up to speed, Budweiser put an alleged transgender woman on their can, on their Bud Light can. All hell broke loose because, I don't know if you want to call them conservatives, white folks, the country singers, some bars, some beer drinkers got really pissed off and they were like, now the rainbow flag doesn't belong on my Bud Light. So there's been boycotts and a lot of backlash. We dissected that yesterday. If you want to see who the quote unquote transgender woman is on the can and what her history is or his history, I don't know. I'm not sure. Lily broke it down. You got to catch that on yesterday's show. But okay, what's developing now is really, really interesting. Okay, because There were people yesterday in the chat that were like, it's not going to put a dent in Bud Light. Nothing's going to happen to Bud Light. This is a marketing plan. This is going to get them more money. Well, it turns out, okay, it says if you believe, I'm just doing the research here, so bear with me. If you believe, let me read this to you. If you believe the Dow Jones, okay, you believe the Dow Jones. Okay, I'm just the messenger.
I didn't realize it was you had to fact check Dow Jones, but go ahead.
Yeah, because you know how people are. That's fake. All right, so I'm getting this from Dow Jones. All right, guys. Says Data Group, the Dow Jones Market Data Group said Bud Light's parent company is down 4.7% and has lost about $4 billion since the campaign. That's from the Dow Jones. If you guys trust the Dow Jones, that is what they said. You can Google it yourself. You can research it. They said Bud Light is down $4.56 billion since they put this alleged transgender woman on the can. Now, it's interesting because last night people were saying that's not going to happen. This is the best marketing plan ever. More people going to buy Bud Light. We had that in the chat. Turns out, nope, took a fucking nose dive in the billions of dollars. So did it backfire? Were they trying to be too woke? And it backfired? Or is this a great marketing plan and they're going to make the money back on 4th of July? What say you, panel? Are they going to make the money back 4th of July? Is everybody going to go running out to buy Bud Light?
Nope, they're just as dumb as I thought they were. Just as simple as that. It's stupid.
Thank you for the super chat, Dwayne Rhodes. What say you? That's a lot of money.
I mean,
$4 billion is a lot of money.
This is kind of what I was saying when I was discussing it at work, was like, I don't really get the marketing strategy there. I don't think this is going to help them, because Bud Light is kind of like it's that the demographic that drinks Bud Light is your average Joe, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
all American,
average Jim Bob.
Yeah, average Billy Bob. It's not like the ones that are going to the microbreweries and things like that, you know? So I didn't get it. I didn't get, why they, if I was invested in Bud Light or in Anheuser-Busch or whatever the parent company is, I didn't really understand it. I didn't understand why they, where they were going, because I knew that it wasn't going to end good for them. I don't care. You can say bad publicity is good publicity, but not in this day and age where people are going to, look for a cause to make themselves feel better and make themselves feel collective, like they have power, like cancel culture and all that and what have you. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me though. It really doesn't surprise me.
What do you think, Lily?
I mean, I'm thinking a lot of things, but I said a lot of the things that I'm thinking last night. It just validates those things that I was saying. But I'm gonna take it a step further because there's been even more news. You got the Karens that are upset and they're gathering, they're grabbing their husbands and they're like, and about the other news is that this alleged, I'm not even going to use alleged trans. I can't even give this person that.
So a gay man.
This is a gay man that is cosplaying as a trans person and cosplaying as a woman for 365 days. Okay, so they put a time limit on how long they're going to be trans, how long they're going to be a woman, right?
So let's be clear. A gay man named Dylan Mulvaney is a TikTok star. 10 million followers, is a TikTok star, right? By TikTok standards. So you're saying that he did an experiment where he wants to be in the shoes of a woman for 365 days, right?
Yes.
So that's like his gimmick. Okay, got it. So it's just like, hey, I'm going to live like a man does for 365 days.
Yes. It's right? Like if you were to announce that right now.
Okay.
And then you all of a sudden start getting deals for jock straps. You see what I'm saying? And you're like, okay,
Yes.
I'll take that just because the money's good.
Yes.
Because Dylan has also accepted a bra campaign, a tampon campaign.
Yes. So most recently, Dylan now
That's
has
so
a bra campaign with Nike, and the Karens are not having it, and they started a burn your bra challenge on TikTok, and there are women now burning their Nike sports tops, and they're encouraging other women to burn their Nike sports tops in solidarity to fight against this gay man who is taking the place of, some may say, women who could be in these ads, right? But did we not see this coming when Caitlyn Jenner used to be Bruce Jenner, right? Did we not see this coming when they gave her Woman of the Year? Did we not see this coming?
That's another alleged trans person. I do not buy that for one
Wait,
second,
Lily,
not 1 minute, not
Lily, we're skating. Lily, we're skating. The opinions of the panelists are on the block with Jen, not necessarily the opinion. Lily, we're skating. Lily?
Let me tell you, every trans girl I've talked to said the same thing. And not just that, but like allies who are used to being around the community, working with the community, like no one likes her in the community.
Lily, are you saying? Okay, but you know, Bruce Jenner did lay down, get some titties put in, got his Adam's apple shaved down, did a lot to look like a woman. So you're saying it's still cosplay, even with that?
I'm not buying it. I'm saying I'm not buying it.
Man.
And Bruce Jenner has, first of all, Bruce Jenner has been cross-dressing for years. Like in LA, that was, people have been talking about that behind the scenes for years. Okay, so there was nothing new with that. So cross-dresser, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then, during that time, that's when the whole push for the LGBT thing started to come about and everything like that.
Right.
Prior to Bruce becoming Caitlyn, Bruce, Kris Jenner was able to start reviving his money again by getting him speaking gigs, and so he was starting to make a little bit of money again because he wasn't making anything really. Okay.
Right.
But then the show came and all of that other stuff and all of, and I guess I wouldn't put it past him that he went that far, or they went that far to get the notoriety and the career and that they have, and also to break away from those people.
Wow, Lily, that's a hell of an accusation. Yeah. Sizzle. I mean, listen, hold on. First of all, Kris Jenner did say that she knew in the marriage, she just never said anything, but she caught him cross-dressing in her clothes. Okay. And also, Kylie Jenner also said she came home, or I don't know if she woke up, I'm paraphrasing here, woke up one night or something, caught her dad in her mom's clothes. So it was like a family secret. They knew that he was cross-dressing. They knew. They both said that they knew he was cross-dressing. So do you think that, because we're veering into like what we were talking yesterday about the transgender youth, right? Where they're feeling away. Maybe they're just gay, but because trans is trending and it gets a lot of attention, are you saying that some people may be going too far with it when all they are is gay?
I know a lot of people are. That's why we're seeing an influx of reversals of surgeries and everything like that. We're seeing an influx of that right now, which I saw that coming because I saw where it was going. I was like, okay, we've crossed the imaginary line where this is no longer organic. Okay. It's becoming a trend and a fad. And we already know if something is a trend, it's profitable. Right?
Correct.
And so people want money, but most of all, they want attention. Like,
correct.
Before money, they will take attention over money.
Oh yeah, we see that.
Right. And so then that's when you started seeing all the, like, it just was crazy after a while. And I was just like, And then I started seeing people that I know personally, and I'm like, yeah, this is getting strange now.
Yeah. So just for the record, detransition clinics are popping up everywhere. Detransition. So people are transitioning and then detransitioning. Like, I was just kidding. I want my tits back. No, Saint, what were you going to say?
Well, I mean, listen, I believe what Lily is saying. A percentage of that is true. I just think that we have to look at everything too. I mean, it's as much as it's still being fought against in certain areas, like in religion and things like that. It is being Generation Z or whatever. It is being kind of accepted. And I believe that in the past, people just hid it a lot more too. I'm not saying that what Lily's saying is not true. I'm sure there's a percentage that is doing it for profit, but I find it really hard to believe, like Bruce Jenner, for instance, is going to go through all of that. He was pretty wealthy anyway. It wasn't for profit for him. And I just believe that it's just like there was a time where gay men got married and had kids and had a family because you couldn't be gay. I think the same is happening with this transgender. Like, it's just like people would rather hide it or kill themselves than actually come out. And now it's just becoming more, I hate to say it, but it's sort of like more acceptable, I guess, in society. At least.
Well, acceptable, I don't have a problem with, because that's just applying that. Because that's applying is acceptable is more so like, okay, we accept it. We're not going to bother you. We're going to just leave you alone like we leave any other person alone or whatever. We're not going to attack you just because, right? So acceptable is not a problem. But the inorganic push is where I have a problem, because it dilutes the message for people like myself.
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Who have had that crossroads of, do I come out as trans or do I kill myself?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying there, and I will agree with you in the fact that people, like, companies are pushing it to profit off of it, or if it's like a TV show, or Bud Light thought they were going to profit off of it maybe. But I'm just saying in general, like, not just accepting. I just think people, like, I've always tried to sit there and think, listen, I don't know what this person's going through. And I've said that yesterday. Like, how do I know how this person feels? Why am I going to say that it's a choice? No, I believe the person that tells me, or the people that tell me that this is the way they feel and this is who they are, and I accept it. But I get what you're saying as well, though. I get you're saying that there are people pushing it for profit, and I agree with you there.
I've been on sets where I knew I was hired to fill a quota, right? But at the same time, I'm not going to take a job that I feel like doesn't fit me. I'm like, no, somebody else can take that. Just like one of my friends that's also trans, non-binary, they've sent jobs my way because they're like, no, I can't take that. Like, you need a Black trans person to be there. You need so, like, it's just a matter of integrity, right? Artistic integrity, I think, from the actual person, because I'm all about people getting their coins. I really am. Right. At the same time, it's like, okay, but where's the line? Like, where do you stop? Like, how much does money mean to you? What are you willing to do for $1? That's kind of scary.
Correct. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon says, I thought they would just switch from Bud Light to Bud Dry like a real hillbilly would, but they just said, to hell with all the buds. Amazing. So that's interesting, because Lily, you are, okay, one of the queens, as far as I'm concerned, of the LGBTQ community. And you call cap on Bruce Jenner, aka Caitlyn Jenner, but our saint, who calls himself no saint, is like, no, I believe whoever tells me what it is they tell me, and that's that. So I think that's very, very interesting. But then, what will people do for attention? Right. And it seems like a lot of people that, are involved with the Kardashian family, right? We need a bell for them too. Anyone who's involved with the Kardashian family seems like they get starved for attention because those women get so much attention. And I think that as Bruce Jenner, I think he was drowning. And now these women are getting all this attention. And he was like, well, what about me? I was a superstar. Like back in the 80s or whatever. I was on the Wheaties box. What about me? And now he has all the attention in the world as a woman. But no saying he was struggling though. He wasn't wealthy.
He wasn't. I looked up.
He had money problems.
Yeah. He was
He had some money issues.
Not struggling now.
Right. And Chris was like, I'll fix it. I fix it all. I fix it all.
Well, I don't know. I will take your word that he's having money problems now. I don't know if it's money problems like we view money problems. Rich people's money problems are different than average people's money problems. I don't know.
Yeah, but but here's the thing. If you're a millionaire and you lose $500,000, you're fucked. If I only have $100 to my name and I lose $50, I'm fucked, right?
Yeah, I got you. No, you're right.
So
you're right.
You know what I mean? Because they paying different types of bills.
I was about to say, and then you're in Calabasas too. Yeah, you gonna feel it.
Oh yeah, I know.
And you got a gang of kids because remember he got extra kids. He just doesn't have the ones from Kris Jenner. He got the other ones, Brody and the other guys. So he had a lot of kids to take care of, all living in Beverly Hills.
I just find it hard to believe that many people. I'm not saying there's not people out there who will do it, but I just find it hard to believe that people will go that far as to changing their bodies for $1. I mean,
as you should feel that way because it's.
Well, you know what? Let me say this. Maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but no saying we are in a time where girls as young as 18, 19, 20 are risking life and limb for a BBL.
No, that's true.
And that's for profit. Okay, because they're not even doing it to get a husband. Like, I want to be more attractive for a husband. They're literally doing it for profit, so they can post on Instagram and make money.
I got you. But that's like a young person's mind thinking it's not going to happen to them. Mm-hmm. You know, with Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner, I think it was. He was much more mature at that point in his life.
I was shocked. I was like, at this point, dude, we can't even say just be gay because he dates women. As Caitlyn Jenner, he dates women. He doesn't date men. So that's something else that's interesting.
It's interesting, and I don't want to. I'm careful.
So he's a lesbian. He's a lesbian.
I'm careful not to go down that road because the thing is, this is another educational moment. Gender identity and sexual preference are two different things.
Yes.
Two totally different things. So, and to be clear, what that means is just because someone is transgender does not mean that they're going to be attracted to, for instance, just because I'm transgender and I'm a woman, transgender woman, doesn't mean I'm going to be attracted to men. That's two different things.
That's correct.
Yes. So a lot of people don't know that.
And this is great. I'm sorry. This is great education because what people don't see, we're talking about the Bud Light can, people don't understand that that's a gay man who's going for a woman. They think it's all the same. They think transgender.
Right, because they don't, they don't know.
Ignorant people think that. And so this is, and ignorant in all due respect, whoever's out there thinks that.
Now, what I was going to say now, the real interesting part is a lot of people actually, they will, so let's just use Dylan, for example, okay? Mm-hmm. Dylan is a gay man. Say if Dylan was transgender and wanted to do the full-on trans situation with the hormones and surgery and everything, a lot of them will go through, once they start the hormones and go through the surgery, all of a sudden they have a different attraction. It changes. It happens. It's very interesting. I don't know how and why, but then all of a sudden, like for instance, you'll see a lot of trans men, so that now want to be banged out. But they were stud lesbians prior to transitioning. But all of a sudden, once they transition, they want to take it in everywhere.
Wow.
Oh yeah. And now you're starting to see a lot of the porn pop up. Like these trans men are like out here taking it. I'm like, God damn. Yeah, so it's very interesting, but like I always say, humans are sexual. So I'm like, nothing should surprise us at this point when it comes to sex and humans.
Right. Like I told you guys before, I watch lesbian porn. Like that's what gets me going regarding porn. But I'm like, I'm not eating cooch at gunpoint.
Right.
I'm not doing it. Okay. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, didn't like it. Salute to the gentleman. Like I always say, it wasn't my thing. I didn't like it. So salute to you men who do it and do it well.
Hey,
I love y'all.
You try it, so you tried it.
Yeah, was it for me? And people were like, you did it with the wrong girl. Maybe, perhaps, but it's too late. I'm one and done.
Yeah, you better than me. Well, okay.
I'm one and done.
I did have a lesbian affair, but I couldn't eat cooch. Like, I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, it's like, salute to the guys, because I'm like, it was complicated. I was like, so guys that can do it and do it well, salute, honey. Because I'm just like, no.
It's not my ministry.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so shout out to the guys.
Take me off the coochie board. Whoever's in charge of that. It's not my ministry.
Yeah, guys. I mean, I appreciate you guys a lot, but I'm just.
Can you put me in the meat lover section, please?
Yeah. Not me. I'm not your girl. Yeah, I'd be like the laziest lesbian on the planet. I ain't eating shit.
I'm not a good lesbian.
Right? So I wouldn't be a good lesbian at all. Yeah. But I like lesbian porn, but I think it's because of the touch and the sensuality of it. It's probably what gets me more than it's girl on girl. It's other shit.
I have to see male female. I can't do male.
Yeah. Shout out to the porn stars. So just to close on the whole, why do I fucking keep forgetting his first name?
Dylan.
I keep thinking Delvin or Dalvin. It's Dylan. Mulvaney, Dylan. Okay, so I will say Dylan is cleaning up though.
Yes.
Nike, that's a huge sponsorship. Okay. Bud Light is a huge sponsorship. Tampons, that's a huge. So this dude, there is lots of profit in pretending to be some shit that you're not. Because if he was a regular gay man, Nike would have not touched him. Tampons would have not touched him. Okay. So there's a lot of money in pretending to be LGBTQ or being more LGBTQ than you are. It's a lot of money. It's very, very profitable. It's just as profitable as fucking BBLs, if not more.
And I got new news. I forgot right before the show. Remember what me and somebody else have been saying about Little Nas X?
Yes, a lot of people.
It's starting to slip out.
Really? Because did you see the thing I sent you earlier?
I didn't see it, but no, I saw some stuff. Yeah, it's starting to slip out. And I was like, I've been trying to tell you. Me and my bestie been called out. We like, that boy's not gay.
Okay, because I sent you a video. Little Nas X we're talking about specifically, the rapper. So
I was like, and if he is by chance gay, he is 100% not as flaming and all of this stuff. That's what I'm talking about. It's him. They do that to Billy Porter. That is not Billy Porter on the red carpet. Is not Billy Porter that you're going to see at any other time. Okay,
really?
No. Harry Styles. It's a lot of them that are inauthentic like this. And that's the issue. It's like, I just see so much of this and it, I keep going back to it, dilutes the message. And I think as I'm doing this, I'm doing a therapy session in my head while I'm doing this. And why does this bother me so much? Now I realize why it triggers me so much. Because growing up, I would hear that people would always want to tell me that I was confused. People want to tell me about me, that I was confused. And I feel like for those people, this validates those people. Things like this validates those people because they just think we're all confused. Yeah. No, Billy Porter is definitely gay, but what I mean is that Billy Porter is not flamboyant and all of that big in dresses. Is Billy
really?
Porter
thought he was.
No, Billy Porter's a regular old gay man, not non-binary, not trans, none of that stuff. Same thing with Harry Styles. They do all of this, and I'm like, there's so many of us that they can choose from. Why do they have to do the cosplay thing? There's so many authentic people out here that can deliver a real message from the heart. Because that's what it lacks. It lacks the heart and the soul and the message. There's no message. It's so blatant. It's so, I will say a real deal is but I found out something about this person too. Can't say that. So no.
So do you think that LGBTQ is being co-opted by infiltrators, liars, deceivers? Yeah, but it was a matter of time.
It was a matter of time. It was too much money involved. You put that much money in, it's going to be a lot of convoluted things that are going to happen.
See, and the thing too is that it's not like a little bit profitable. Listen, people have entire careers in the entertainment business and not be touched by Nike, Tampax, and Bud Light. Those are big fucking checks.
Yes.
And all he had to do was pretend to be a woman. Okay? Big fucking checks. So a lot of people are going to follow that. They're not going to give a damn that whatever you say, oh, you gay, that they're not going to give a damn when that check is millions of dollars. So you're going to see a lot of young people doing this and following suit like, oh, so I could just be gay and come out of nowhere and get 5 million followers on TikTok and get a check from Nike. You're going to start seeing it more and more and more. And it's a shame. And I understand the trigger. I understand being LGBTQ and having to go through what you go through in real life and then see someone come, take your place in a costume. And I know people should say, let people live and do what they want. But you cannot deny that those are triggers. Because sometimes I'm triggered by Jennifer Lopez when she's claiming the Bronx and people are like, she from the Bronx. I'm like, bitch, where? You're from Castle Hill. I had to go to funerals every month. I'm from the Bronx, bitch. Like the real Bronx. Okay. So, and when she gets those accolades or that street cred from like a Fat Joe or something like that, I'm like, bitch, she's not that. She's like cosplaying in the Timberland. She would have never came to Prospect Avenue. She would have never came to Trinity Avenue. Are you fucking crazy? She lived in a house with a picket fucking fence, a 2-car garage, and both her parents. Her experience is not what we experience, but the cosplay is triggering. And it's no different than, let's say you're a guy in the military or you're a police officer and there's a fucking guy that's always worked at a desk. And now he's trying to claim he's as tough as you guys. After you done seen blood and bone and buried people, you're like, motherfucker, you worked the desk for 5 years when I was in fucking Iraq. So it's natural that you get triggered by people that are in cosplay of something that you experienced in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And it is all fucking gay to get triggered by something you experienced in real life and death situations, not nuisances, life and death situations.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I get the trigger. I fucking get the trigger. And I salute anyone who's really going, right? Who is in the trenches with any situation that someone comes in and is like, oh, I'm gay. And then Nike comes a running and cuts a $5 million check. It's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Fucked up.
They have really made a lot of money. I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but the thing is, like, I have to, but I'm authentic. So whatever, it is what it is. I mean, but I just don't like the message being diluted. And I feel like this is, you've heard me say before, I feel like things like this is going to also lead to the backlash. It's not cool. It's not cool.
Right. Because then now they make it easy for people to say, see, right? Very, very, very easy. See, look at them. They don't even know what they want. They're confused. They change, from week to week. And I think it's irresponsible. Like, again, we brought up Demi Lovato last night. I think it's irresponsible for these celebrities who know they have huge followings to play this fucking game. Like, Demi Lovato should be slapped in the mouth. Seriously. You could quote me on that. Hopefully it goes viral. Demi Lovato should be slapped in the mouth, okay? Like, she literally changes her gender and how she wants to be addressed every couple of months. And I think it's disgraceful for people who are really going through those things. I think it's disgraceful because she has a platform, a huge platform, and she's playing with something that people are truly in the trenches about. And that annoys me.
It really does. Like when I decided to transition, like it really was a matter of life and death.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't the world that we're living in now. And I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not, this is please don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm good. Good. When I transitioned though, in Atlanta, choosing to be outside and everything, I was harassed every single day. Every single day. Every day I had to defend myself, and so it's like what you said with coming up in the Bronx and knowing a life or death situation. It's just really annoying. It's like, come on now, we paid our dues, and there was women who did die for me to be on the cover of a magazine, for you to be able to just to be an openly gay man. So be that, all right. But there's people who really lost their lives, like the women and stuff that started Pride and afterward are no longer here. They couldn't even have imagined a world where big brands were paying attention to them.
And lots of attention and lots of money.
And even when I started my transition, I couldn't have imagined them, me working with some of the brands that I've worked with. I wouldn't have never thought that. I did it because it was literally a matter of life or death. It was either me choose to face the world and deal with the backlash of the world and let them harass me, or me continue to harass myself about being inauthentic. It was a suicide thing for me. So that just really bothers me. But
Okay, so since we don't have a lot of time tonight, let's jump into the topic, even though I know this topic needs its own 2 hours. So we're probably going to have to revisit because it is about reparations. I think we need a bell for that too. It is about reparations. Okay. So I saw this story and I was like, what the fuck? And then I sent it to my team and they were like, what the fuck?
You might need to hit that bell real quick before you get started. You might need to hit that bell because I know what it's about.
You think we need the bell? You think we need the bell, Lily, for that particular thing?
I think we may need it. I'm just feeling the bell percolating in my spirit,
Okay, got it. All right. Race time.
Just being proactive today.
It is race time, kids. All right, let's get into this. You can't really talk about reparations, right, without bringing up race, right? So let's get into this story. Now, this is not all about reparations. There's maybe 1 or 2 more layers to it. Okay. So this story right here, a woman was at a Target. Here she is here. Woman demands to pay with reparations, gets assaulted instead by the loss prevention guy. That is her being punched in the face by the loss prevention worker at Target. And I have the video. Okay. So basically, she had $1,000, they said, worth of groceries in a cart, took it to the cashier and demanded that they let her go with her $1,000 worth of groceries because reparations and shit. She got into a verbal altercation with the cashier. Security came over, loss prevention came over. And according to the guy in loss prevention, he said, she followed me into the office. I felt threatened. And he cold cocked her. And I have the video. Someone please call 911.
Ooh. Child, let me get my stuff, child. Ooh.
So as my attorney friends like to do with me when we discuss crimes, they're always like, Jen, watch the video again. So I'm going to play it one more time for anyone who wasn't ready to watch. This is a woman in Target who had $1,000 worth of groceries and things, went up to the cash register and demanded that they let her go because of reparations. She didn't want to pay cash or charge. She's like, no, you guys are going to let me go with all this shit in my cart because y'all owe me some reparations. She even said, this is my Rosa Parks moment. That's a quote, her quote. She said, this is my Rosa Parks moment. Reparations is going to pay for this. Get the fuck out my way. She followed loss prevention into the office and he felt threatened. And here we go.
Oh.
Now, did you think, okay, we watched it. Do you think she was posing a threat? I'll throw it up one more time, but I won't play the whole thing. I want you to watch her follow him, how close she was, what her hands were doing, her body language. Do you think he felt threatened to the point where he needed to punch her in the face? What do you guys think? I will pass the mic before I continue.
From what I see, we can't hear anything, but from what I see, I don't see it being to the point of him punching her in the face per se. Mm-hmm. At the same time, we don't hear anything, but I mean, her hands were down. She was moving slower, way slower than him. Yeah, I think she's going to get her reparations. I think he fell into her trap. If this was a trap, I think he fell right into it.
I haven't seen somebody scramble around looking for something since Mike Tyson hit the mat against Buster Douglas.
Right.
She was out. She was out. This stupid phone. Listen, I saw a little bit longer video, and it was described that she was going after the manager, like getting, I don't know what she said. You know, they said getting aggressive with the manager. Then he came in and she proceeded to go towards him and backed him into the office. So what we're seeing is like the part where they get in the office and then he swings on her. But I mean, I didn't realize she said that's her Rosa Parks moment. That's pretty interesting because I was going to say, you know, in order to claim it, you have to have everybody on board, and nobody else is on board except for her. So, you know, what was the manager supposed to do? You know, he couldn't just give away $1,000 worth of groceries. So, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I maybe she was trying to make a Rosa Parks. Maybe she thinks that this is going to turn into something more. Because, yeah, other than that, I didn't understand. I thought, is she like something wrong with her? Is she mentally ill? Does she think that somebody's going to give her? And to take the time, it takes a long time to get $1,000 worth of product.
It sure does. It sure does.
To take the time and then
somebody else have another cart. Like, she's really talented.
Yeah.
Or she just getting the name brand everything.
Right. It sure does. I'm like, does she have a flat screen in the cart? I don't.
Right. Like.
And some Maybelline.
I mean, I know inflation's bad, girl, but come on
right
now.
Kari's Crib says, without knowing what was said, hard to judge. So I'll say this, looking at the video, I don't think, just looking at it, even without hearing anything, I don't think she posed a threat to him, a physical threat. Her hands were down. She still had her bag. She was probably talking real spicy, but I think it's a thing where he could have just went behind the desk and be like, don't take another step or whatever. And then if she continued being the aggressor, then that's a different story. I don't think he had to hit her like that, to be honest. I didn't see that type of threat, and I don't have to hear what was being said. Just physically looking at it, didn't look like a physical threat to me. Okay, Abby says his body language gave a snap reaction. She could have had a weapon. I mean, that's another way to look at it. Another thing I say about when violence occurs, I always say, you always have a plan. You never know what the other person's going to do. Right. And a lot of people are in prison and 6 feet under because they had a plan, but they didn't know what the other person was going to do. So you have to be very, very careful. That's why I tell the people I love, do not engage in road rage because you do not know what the other person is going to do, where they just came from, or where they are headed. So if they did not run you off the road into a ditch, you don't have to do this. You don't have to keep going. Just be happy, get the fuck out their way and let them keep going because too many people have died and too many people got locked up over some stupid shit where you could have just let them go.
Yep.
And I don't care if I was with my wife in the car, I was with my kids, so I got to chase this person. Let them go. You have a plan. You don't know about their plan. So I think that's what happened here. We don't know who this guy is. And of course, we ring the bell and race is going to, come into play because she's a Black woman. He's obviously a white man. But we don't know what that white dude has been through in his life. We don't know. Is he ex-military? Is he traumatized from something else? We don't know. Is this woman traumatized? I would say, if I had to guess, maybe there's something mentally wrong with her, right? Maybe something mentally is wrong with her. And she's like, I want my reparations and I'm going to pay with my reparations. Again, it takes a long time to get $1,000 into a shopping cart at Target. It takes a long time. So is she mentally, dysfunctional?
Well, there's a lot of people who are mentally dysfunctional now more than ever. I see mental illness blatant and just apparent everywhere I go now. It's gotten really bad, especially here in the city. It's really bad. Like, oh my God. And then it'd be people a lot of times now I'm noticing people who look normal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, decently dressed, smelling nice, hair laid, and talking to the tree. Not in the tree hugging kind of way either. More like an argument. So, yeah, it's a lot going on. So I wouldn't put that past. I wouldn't. Now, she has a point though about this reparation thing. I was like, well, hold on now. We might can work something out, right?
I'm like, is it like a reparations debit card? He's like, you just swipe.
Yeah. Like I need to get some groceries instead of food stamps. It's got a bad negative connotation with it, but reparations card, it's a little bit better, And instead of just giving people money, right? Maybe things, necessities, comes in like housing and food, the necessities, the things that we need. I think that's a great idea. She may be on to something, Miss Rosa Part 2. Just a thought.
Dwayne Rhodes says legally he's good to go. The guidelines are in his favor. The caveat is her pursuing him. And if he told her to stop invading his personal space. As far as what she's saying, again, she said she was arguing about reparations should pay for what she had in her cart. And she said, this is my Rosa Parks moment. Don Levon says the guy looks like he's saying, look what you made me do.
He was giving look what you made me do realness.
Yeah, he did. She came to have a Rosa Parks moment and left having a Mike Tyson moment only in America. I will say that, like, I don't think he should have hit her like that, but he did look like, fuck, like I didn't want to hit you, but what the fuck, right? Like, it's like, get away from me. I know, maybe not no saint, but I think that's a knee-jerk reaction anyone would have, depending on your background, right? It's like, oh, you're invading my space. I feel threatened. You can't do that, especially, depending on where you come from, right? We got to be ready to go because we're always ready to go where we come from. So we don't know, right?
That's why I went too hard on bro, because I can't say I wouldn't have, reacted the same way depending on the day and the mood and the time and the trauma and the trigger and I don't know. Wasn't right, but I can't say I'm a
Adam Hearn says, thank you for the super chat, sir. Adam Hearn says, Red Pill Brothers ain't playing. He had her resting in her femininity on the floor. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Thanks, Adam Hearn.
We love you too, Adam.
Yeah. No, thank you. Don says the cop said the security guy feared for his safety.
I mean, he did kind of jump. He looked like he was trying to jump.
He looked shook. Yeah, he looked shook. He did look shook. He really did look shook. And I was like, okay, dude. But I'm like, what was she saying? Like, was she like, I'm about to cut your ass? And he was like, oh, wow. Like, you know,
Right.
like that's what I'm, you know, like, he was like, hold up.
Like, what about this? Because I do know it said, I don't know what protocol is for Target, but I do know you're not supposed to touch the customer no matter what, whether they're stealing, whether they're yelling or whatever. David Dillon says he's probably going to be fired because there's no solid proof he was being attacked, quote unquote. I've had to fire people for excessive behavior towards customers. David, would you fire him? Watching that video, would you fire him, or would you be like, you know, he was obviously being pursued?
This is tricky. This is a tricky one because I'm looking at a lot of things that people are saying in the chat, and I'm like, okay, I don't know the law well enough to know how this is going, but I'm just kind of, it's interesting the dialogue.
Abby says it looked like a snap reaction.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a snap reaction. It really did. You know, not saying it's right, but it just looked like he just snapped real quick.
Yeah.
Out of fear.
No, saying we only going to 10. Where you going?
You're only going to what?
To 10 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern. So that's
Another
20 more minutes.
Yeah.
You give us 20 more minutes, No Saints.
No Saint probably got a previous engagement. Let's stop. We don't. Let's not mess with him. We don't know what he got going on over there.
Right,
she was probably like, te doy 15 minutos. 15 minutos y ya. Que se joda ese YouTube. Ese anda black with Jen. Que se joda esa mujer. That's probably what's going on over there.
So yeah, I'm about to say, let me leave that alone. Yeah, I ain't gonna. That's funny. I ain't paying the consequences.
Esta noche no, con esa anda black with Jen. No me importa. Oh, I know, No Say. I know, honey. I know.
Oh my God, that's great.
Adam Hearn says he can sue Target if he gets a change for an unsafe work. If he gets a charge for an unsafe work environment.
And that's what I was looking at because I've seen that before. That's why I said it's interesting.
Yeah, but Target didn't. I mean, I don't know. How are they unsafe work environment? How are they supposed to know some woman's gonna be like, oh, I don't like.
Okay, so I can see how you can spin it.
Okay. No, saying, do you have to exit right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here.
Awesome. We will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow for sure. All right.
Okay. Thank you, No saying.
Yeah, how I can see him spinning it, right? You know, all of these companies are all short staffed, right?
Okay.
So I don't recall seeing anyone else from security in the office, right? So they could probably have some type of policy where there's supposed to be always 2 people or maybe 3 because you're supposed to have a male and a female just in case you got to pat down people and things like that. So he could be like, you know, well, policy is that we're supposed to have 2 or 3. It was only me there. I was not covered properly because we've been short staffed for the last whatever. I can see him spending it like that.
Okay, so he is loss prevention, which isn't the same as security, I'm guessing.
It is.
Oh, is it? Okay. David Dillon said that's against company policy. He would have fired him. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess it's going to be interesting to see if he loses his job or not. Thank you for the super chat, Dwayne Rhodes.
But even if he loses his job, if that's the case that he was supposed to be protected by 1 or 2 other people, he still may have a case. He might not have a job, but he might have a case. So him and Miss Thing might be walking. I don't know how. This is very interesting. They both walking out with their payday.
They're probably in cahoots.
I know, right?
Listen, you punch me.
Where's my tin hat? I'm about to put my tin hat on.
E. Scrapple says he should be sacked. He was the aggressor. See, but this is how juries work. So, and we all watched the same video, right?
Perspective.
Some people will say she was the aggressor. E. Scrapple was like, no, he was the aggressor. He didn't have to hit her.
See, what Abby is saying is how I was thinking. Yeah. I was thinking like there should have been. I didn't see no one else but the manager.
Okay.
Did we even see the manager?
I didn't see the manager. I know the guy that hit her was the loss prevention guy.
Yeah, but we didn't see anybody else step into the scene from loss prevention or otherwise.
Yeah, so it looked like he was trying to walk away. How are you, Big Elvis the Chef Rosenberg? Good to see you, sir. Oh, Abby says yes and no because she did not walk out. So there was no loss yet.
That's true. She has to walk out for there to be loss. Yep. But the thing is, let's see. Okay. Abby's right. But from what I'm gathering from the story, from how we're reading it, that she started it to cause a fuss. And that's what had loss prevention, aka security, coming out of the office to address it.
Correct.
But in the fuss, she then proceeds to follow them into the office. They didn't bring her into the office because they're not allowed to detain her unless she walks out of the store with even a pack of gum or whatever. So
correct. Big Elvis says this is what the world looks like when everyone is on antidepressants.
Right.
Don Levon, thank you for the super chat.
What's going on?
He says she's a prime example of the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Yeah, what Adam Hearn said is that they just closed the Walmart in DC due to constant theft, and Whole Foods just closed in San Francisco. It's a problem. Yeah, a lot of stores have been closing because of because of theft. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Walmart that threatened that they were going to start closing their stores in certain areas because of theft. And I lived in an area in Atlanta that the Publix did that. They was like, listen, y'all wearing us. Oh, actually, the Walgreens down the street from my house, same thing. Y'all wearing us out because we had the heroin twins. The heroin twins used to come in every day, Jen, like they owned Walgreens. They came in I've seen them a million times, and my friends have seen it too. They come in about 3 times a day, fussing and they walk in the door fussing and cussing like the fuck out, damn it, these motherfuckers. Like, and they come in the door with their bags and they go over to what they want and grab what they want and cussing and fussing as they walk out the door. So it's a lot of that going on.
So if all these stores are closing because of theft, it's funny. I was at Walmart. I think I had texted you, Lily, when I was there, but I had to there was some makeup items that I wanted to get. First of all, they were behind a case with a key. So I had to call the person over to get me the makeup out of the case with the key. And then they put the makeup. They didn't give it to me. I was like, oh, okay, they're going to give it to me and I'll throw it in the cart. No, they put it in another box. After taking it out of the case, they put it in another box that they locked and then gave it to me. So I was like,
that's a lot of stuff.
What is this?
That's a lot of stuff for something you just might put back down. You know?
Right. And I posted a video of this on my Instagram, on my follow Jen Garcia Instagram. I was like, what the fuck is this? So they took it out of it. It's locked up behind the case. Now they put it in a plastic. Now they locked that, and the box, of course, I'm assuming had an alarm on it. So when you walk out, it starts ringing, but it's really, it's becoming more and more difficult for them to prevent theft. But then it's like with all the prices, the inflation and all of that, again, this country cuts off his nose to spite its face.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Right before the show, me and Bestie was just down in Union Square at Whole Foods. Dude was in front of us wearing ass out. He was wearing ass out like he owned the joint. Then went out, came back in and wore their ass out some more. So, yeah, with inflation, it's not going to get any better. It's not.
And then we're seeing a lot of these kids that are running into the Apple store and the clothes stores and the Fendi stores and and Coach stores and just grabbing shit and running out. And I'm like, I don't know. But I know we're not going to do a whole 2 hours tonight, but I'm like, reparations. Would it make things better Would people be more calm? Would people be more satisfied if they just cut that reparations check already?
Yeah, but then you already know how this government works. What they're going to do, the money's got to come from somewhere, so it'll be more inflation. They're going to get their money back. They're going to get their money back. And now government's broke. Like they broke. So, this is going to be, this is a really interesting topic and a real just very nuanced thing, because I feel like there's two things going on here, Jen. I feel like inflation is one issue that's causing this, and the other issue is everyone's need to keep up. And with the whole, I gotta wear this, I gotta look like this, and all, because everyone makes six figures here on the internet.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, everybody's rich here.
Yeah. So you know,
rich
you gotta
people here.
keep up with the internet people, and so I feel like a lot of the smash and grabs are coming from that, so that they can either wear or sell. Or they may do a little bit of both, smash, wear, sell, So, but I don't feel like the reparations will work, because I do feel like the government's going to come back and get their money back.
But do you think it'll work in a sense of like, here's your money, shut the fuck up now. Now you can shut the fuck up about it. Would it work in that sense where it's like, then they don't have to complain anymore? Because I agree with Louis Cognier. He says, you got billions to give to the Ukraine, cut the check. So they have the money, they just don't want to give it for reparations. No.
I don't even want to go, because who Lewis said that. Lewis is 100, 200, 300, 1,000% correct. They give the money to where they want to give the money to. This is a very layered topic that I'm really treading.
Oh yeah, we have to. Oh yes, we have to have an entire reparations conversation.
Because I really want to go in, but I'm like, babe, this gonna be a long show, because I really want to go in on this. It's very layered, it's very nuanced, and it's deliberate, like everything else. So
you mean them not cutting the check is deliberate?
Yeah, them sending all this money to our baby mama Ukraine, because she that baby mama that's just never satisfied, right? But then you go to any town USA right now, and the homeless rate has skyrocketed. Now not just the homeless rate, but now there's a new term that has skyrocketed, and which is called working homeless. So the working homeless rate has skyrocketed. There's so many people now who do not have a home, but go to work every day. So it's not just your person that's on drugs and mental ill. No, these are working people that cannot afford.
This is insane.
This is insane. But they can send money to Ukraine like crazy. So they do what they want to do. It's not, they know what they're doing.
Big Elvis says $250,000 minimum for reparations. George Cook says, please do reparations. I will be down there in the line with Pookie and Riri to get my 0.8%. George, are you saying that only Pookie and Ray will be down there for the reparations? Huh? Because you could come say it with your face tomorrow.
Right.
Haran says, you know what's going to happen. Black people will want reparations to be ongoing. Once the first check is gone, folks going to want another one and another one. Do you think so? Do you think so?
Okay, so, I always make that joke about PPP loans being reparation. That was the reparation. And you see how it was handled. But I feel like you, Jen, it's like they could have just called PPP reparations and said, here you go. Leave us alone. Stay on our face. We gave it to you. Because really, that's what it was. That's how they was treated. But you see how people did it. The people are broke. They're broke. People was taking all kind of trips and buying all kind of Gucci, Louis, Prada, and I knew people bought Mercedes and living in the projects. Like, it was crazy. I mean, and I got one PPP loan, which was legal because I do have a business and all of that. I did all of my stuff by the guidelines. And the temptation to do more was great, because I am literally witnessing people living in the projects getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, because they're not only doing the airs, but they're charging people to do their applications and stuff like that. So,
Right.
and it's just like, damn, people was
And
making
people,
a killing,
listen, people went to jail behind those PPP loans.
and they went to
People
jail
went
behind
to
them.
jail. Don Levon says reparations won't change a thing in the Black community because we are going to give it right back to Gucci, Louis Vuitton. The PPP loans showed us that. I brought up that issue before, and I got a lot of responses like, no, that's not true. Not everybody's going to go run out and buy Gucci, Prada, and Louis. And, reparations should also come in the form of land, X, Y, and Z. So there are different opinions about how reparations should be paid. Some people say that it should be free education. Some people say that it should be land. Some people say that it should be money. Let's see what Haran DeMarco says. Haran DeMarco, thank you for the super chat. Haran says, it's not a layered topic. There's consequences and intentions involved with not cutting the check to other places. What Black people gonna do outside of complain if they don't get reparations? I agree. Like, what's gonna happen?
But I mean, we already, like I said, we have already seen it. When people get money in their hands, what they will do with it. I mean,
Louis says he got to have them Ferragamo shoes.
Right.
What do you think about reparations with mandatory? You have to tell us where this money is going. Do you think that people will protest like you gave Jewish people money without having a plan?
Yeah, people will protest. Of course, they're not going to. You're going to have protests regardless. People just want to complain, right? I'm convinced of that. So I pay them no mind. I would say is like I was saying earlier, and I was half joking. Necessities. Okay, there are life necessities, and if those things can be covered in the reparations, like just putting money in people's hands. It's not going to solve anything. I mean, come on, that's not going to solve anything, especially if you don't have money management and just all kind of stuff. Like I said, we've seen what it does. So
we've seen people blow money every day. Like people blow money every day. Yeah.
2021, 2022. We see what it looks like. So yeah, like these necessities and things like that. Healthcare, food, shelter, lights. Like utilities, like those are the necessities, and I feel like those should be covered if they do reparations.
David says reparations as a huge check is worthless. It should be divided into free college, access to business, loans, etc. Louis Conyer says, do we tell Israel or the natives what they do? Do you think, I mean, the Black experience in America, though, is quite unique, though. I think it's a little different. And I think the priorities as a whole is different in here. You guys, you can stick this wherever you like. But I think in our culture specifically, there's a lot of emphasis on looking like you have money. So I do think the money will go to waste. It will be squandered. It will go to Italian and French designers, tenfold, because, people who have nothing need to look like they have something. So I think a large majority of the money will be squandered and just given right back to the people that they wanted the money from. However, I do think some people are going to flip that money. Do I think people can flip that money into generational wealth? Fuck yeah. But I don't think that's going to be the norm. No. I don't think that's going to be the norm.
No, it won't be the norm. No.
I think Gucci, Prada, Fendi, Versace, they're going to have their doors wide open that day.
Yeah. God. I mean, did you see what it was looking like? All the ads that were coming our way during 2021 and 2022, because they knew everybody had this new money, and they was just, I mean, the level of ads and advertising was crazy, like crazy. So yeah, they already know that all they're going to do is get that money right on back to us.
Right. David says they'll protest like they do about child support. We don't get an itemized list of what she spends it on, but it would be nice. Haran says, here's an idea. Just check the credit scores. Anyone with bad credit, give them 200 points more. If you already have great credit, give them money. I mean, I like some of these ideas.
Mm-hmm. There's some really good, and yeah, junkies will be dropping like flies. That's what I think about the junkies and stuff like that. Like it's a lot. Like like it's just not wise for a collective that has been not put in the best position when it comes to money and money management and money education and things like that. It's not.
Donovan says, give us $5,000 a month for life. That's not going to happen, but
No.
it's nice. Adam heard that Jews, Native Americans, German Americans, Japanese Americans, all types have already gotten reparations. So what's the holdup with the reparations for Black people in this country? What's the holdup?
The holdup is that they don't like us, and we've known that since day one. And they put it in our face every chance they get. So we already know what the holdup is. They don't hide it anymore.
We'll do a whole show on this. We'll get some people up because I did hear. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I did hear somewhere something was approved regarding reparations and some checks were cut. Am I wrong? I did hear something like that, where something was approved regarding reparations and some checks were cut. We could get into that when we do a whole stream about reparations. Dwayne Rhodes says reparations would be the returned land back to Mexicans, Native Americans, Africans that were here before the slave trade. History is a motherfucker. Somebody did, I think it was Abby who brought up something very interesting regarding reparations and who gets it. It's true. Why this generation and not the one that follows? Like, when do reparations stop? Like, why give it to, I think that's a great question. Why does this generation deserve reparations? What about the ones after?
I don't know how that works. So how did they do it? How did they do it with the other groups? I want to know how they did that with them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, because when it comes to Jewish people and Native Americans, what generation did they give it to? How far back?
Right.
Right. And seeing as they took so long, let's say, if they do, right, like, since they took so long, let's say they cut them checks next month, is it this generation that deserves it or the generation that just got out of slavery?
Right.
Right? Like, who deserves it?
I would like to know the answer to that. I didn't follow this particular topic that much because I think you and I had that same type of, ain't nobody coming to save us any goddamn way. So
right. Yeah.
I'm not putting my energy into this. I gotta go out and get my money. Like, I'm not gonna sit back and wait. Reparations, what they saying? They signed something? Huh? What they talking about it? Oh, okay.
Oh, Haran talking spicy in the chat. Haran said, those people mentioned produce. Blacks consume. You don't do business with a parasite. God damn, Haran. Haran said he with the shits. Come get me. And we'll read Big Elvis's chat. That'll be the last chat. Don't forget, you can support On the Block with Jen. Cash App, scrolling on the bottom, or a super chat, or Cash App if I'm not here. Also, don't forget April 15th, our Block Talent Battle. If you have a talent or know someone with a talent, have them come over April 15th, Saturday, 8 p.m. sharp. I got a lot of people already responding. We're going to have actors, singers, rappers, dancers. Is a guy that says he's going to do a lap dance, a sexy lap dance as his talent. So we're going to have all kinds of people up here. Lily and I will judge, but you voters will get to pick the winner, and there will be a cash prize. No catch. You just give us your time and your talent, and the audience will pick the winner. That is April 15th, Saturday night, 8 p.m. And Elvis says, ooh, Haran DeMarco says, here's the bigger question. Who's Black? Who gets the money?
How Black do you have to be? Black to be
Black? Hey. A lot of people say, you Black too, bitch. So do I get reparations?
Now you can go ahead and collect this Black that they keep trying to give you.
Yeah.
Go ahead and collect.
All right. Who owns the patent of blackness?
Because y'all want me to be black so bad. Go ahead and give me my reparations then, goddamn.
You know what? On next stream, if you're listening, I would love anyone who has some real information or has researched reparations. Come on over, tell us what you think. A lot of people threw some good ideas in the chat. So let's do it next time. Big Elvis says, absolutely, we must. Big Elvis says, capitalistic societies always have to have a bottom. Once we can show who the bottom will be, then reparations can happen. Huh?
Okay. Hold on. Capitalist societies have always. I don't know. I don't get it.
I took the short yellow bus today. Yeah. I don't get that one.
Yeah, no. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't get that one. Yeah, you can elaborate next time. See, tomorrow's Thursday. We could possibly do it tomorrow, right? Is
today's Wednesday. I had to look. I had to look because
I
never know what day it is.
We're fucking busy. Shit happens. All right. I mean, we can do it tomorrow unless something else juicy happens.
Right.
But it just okay. So good. We're not alone, Lily. Even Haran is lost. Yeah, he said he's lost. Yeah, Dwayne Rhodes says generations. How many generations of Americans? And do the same math since the Pilgrims. Would that be 10 generations? If we start now, 2023, average age is 50 before death. It's simple math.
Okay. How many generations of Americans and do the same math? Would be 10 generations. Start now at 23 and then go 10 generations ahead. Proactive. So you're taking the retroactive and then paying out proactive. That's how I'm taking that comment. So
10 generations before 2023, and then if we start now.
So you're gonna take from. So there was 10 generations that were unpaid.
Okay.
Right? So then you're gonna pay 10 generations ahead. So you're gonna start with this one, and then 10 generations they are born after this.
And then you cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
So 20 generations?
No. It'll be 10. So you're paying for because they're dead. So you're going to start from who's alive, I guess.
Okay.
And then the generation that's alive and then count up to 10 generations. So maybe like 2 generations alive, I guess. And then maybe 8 more to go.
And then end it, cut it there?
Yeah, that's how I'm understanding it. I could be wrong.
Interesting. All right. We'll do a whole show on this. We don't have time for it tonight, guys, but we will definitely do a whole show on this. The last super chat of the night. Adam Hearn says, Jamaicans should have gotten that coin before she took that dirt nap. Who's she?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Jamaicans should have gotten that coin before she took that dirt nap. Yeah, I don't know which Jamaicans, darling. I don't know if you mean all of them. All right, guys. So meet us here tomorrow. Don't forget about Block Talent Battle, April 15th. Email me on the block with Jen at Gmail. Please follow Lily at YB Limited, okay, on all social media platforms so you could keep up with us. You must keep up with us. Oh, Don Levon said the Queen. Okay. All right. Rod Veal, don't worry about missing this one because we touched on reparations very, very lightly regarding that woman who was yelling about reparations in Target. We're going to do a whole stream on reparations. So you could come lock and loaded. We'll probably do it tomorrow.
Okay, Lewis, you made it make more sense. Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth. Okay, cool. All right. So Lily, any parting words or are we out of here, mama?
I'm excited about a reparations show. I would like people to come up who has some information. We're going to have to do some research. And I think that'll be a really interesting show.
So let's do it tomorrow. If you are listening, if you are research, if reparations is your thing, come through tomorrow. Show us your face. We don't talk to avatars, unfortunately, on the blog. Or, you know what I mean? Play in the chat. But we'd like to see people up here, man, woman, you know what I mean? If you know anything about reparations, come up and tell us. I'm sure you researched it way more than Lily and I, right? So come to tomorrow. Let's do this whole reparations thing. This was a great segue because, when I heard this story, I was like, imagine a reparations debit card. But then there are other questions. Who gets it? What parts Black are you? Because some people are like, I'm ADOS, I'm FBA. Who gets it? Especially because the FBA is now separating themselves because, there's a lot of division in-house, right? So the FBA is like, we're not ADOS. ADOS is like, we're not FBA. And it's like, the Jamaicans don't deserve it. The Haitians don't deserve it. The Africans don't deserve it. There's a lot of infighting as well. So, all right. So we'll cover it tomorrow. There's a lot of good suggestions in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And also, please, somebody do the research. I do believe there was some checks or something that started somewhere, I'm not sure where, regarding reparations. So look into that. I'll look into that. I heard something like that. All right, guys. So come back tomorrow for the reparations joint. Thank you so much. We'll see you mañana.
Bye-bye.
If you're still here for any reason, hit that like and subscribe for Mama. And thank you so much for holding me down in the chat. And thank you for all the super chats. And thank you for all the support behind the scenes. We can't do this without you. All right, guys. Have a great rest of the night and come back tomorrow. Bye.